Have you accepted Matt Register as your Lord and Savior yet? Eagles win over the Carolina Stingrays 3-2 in a double overtime of Game 1 of the Kelly Cup Finals. The first period of this one started out like 80% of the first period so far on the Eagles' playoff run. They absolutely dominate possession, making it hard for the Stingrays to get even a single shot on goal. Both teams got a power play in the first 10 minutes of the period, but neither managed to score. And then the Eagles get a second power play 13 minutes into the period, and they finally managed to be the first team to break through instead of dominating possession and having nothing to show for it. The puck is coming down the near boards into the corner, and you have Nantel down below the net who's going to come in and make a great play to pick the puck out of the corner and then stay strong on the puck to get a centering pass to Garbowski. Garbowski's going to get 2 shots to put it in the back of the net and manages to get it done. The Eagles would get through the rest of that period, outshooting the Stingrays 16-7, and they take the 1-goal lead into the second. The second period was a lot more even and more grindy as well. Both teams were struggling to find space for most of the period. Again, both teams get multiple power plays but fail to convert. Then about halfway through the period, the Eagles get hemmed in their own zone and their inability to clear ends up costing them. The Eagles have already failed to clear multiple times, and this puck is going to rebound right out to St. Amant, but he's going to fail to corral it. That's going to leave it right back to a Stingrays player who's just going to throw one on net, and it gets tipped into the back of the net. So just over halfway through, it's all tied up, and it's starting to feel like the first team to break through on special teams might be the one to win this game. From that point on in the second, neither team wanted to make that crucial mistake to go back down. They both locked it up really tight and managed to take a tie game into the intermission. The third period was more of the same. Again, both teams take multiple penalties. At that point, both teams had taken 6, and neither team had managed to score a power play goal yet. 17 minutes go by in the third period, and then shortly after the Eagles manage to kill off a power play, Carolina gets a dagger of a goal. A shot is going to deflect down low off of Tegan Zahn into the far corner. Once it does that, both Eagles defensemen, Zahn and Register, are going to commit to the far side of the ice. That leaves the low near side wide opened, and you can already see McParland heading for that part of the ice. He's going to receive a nice cross-ice pass and just have a tap into the open net. A critical defensive breakdown with less than 3 minutes to go is not really the way you want to lose the first game of the series. So now it's desperation time for the Eagles, but I didn't have a whole lot of faith, really. Of the 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, 2 minutes and 15 seconds of it didn't look very pretty. Those last 15 seconds, though, well, that was pretty. After a good passing play here from Register down to Garbowski over to Mardo, Mardo's going to put it on net. It's going to bounce out in front. And then right here, it swings out after Garbowski and the defenseman on him miss him. And Register and Garbowski come together on the puck and somehow manage to put their sticks together and slip this puck into the net with 2 seconds left. My heart would really appreciate it if they wouldn't wait until 2 seconds left in the game to tie it back up, but I'll take it however I can get it. So, the Eagles force another game they probably should have no business being in to overtime. The first overtime was a bit of a weird one. The first 7 or so minutes really belonged to the Eagles. They came out like it was the first period and were just dominating everything. But then it looked like the Eagles completely ran out of gas. The next 7 minutes were all the Stingrays. They were pouring on shots, holding it in the Eagles zone for what seemed like forever, and the only thing keeping this game tied was Hafner. The last 6 minutes of the period was much more back and forth, but neither team managed to score, and we head to double overtime for the second time in this playoff run. Remember how I said the first team to break through on special teams would be the one to win this game? Well, that comes into play here. 4.5 minutes in to the overtime, the Eagles take a blatant penalty. The refs really weren't calling much, but when you hit a guy right in the face with your stick, they have to call it. The Eagles manage to kill it, and the Stingrays go 0 for 7 on the power play in this game. Really gotta love that penalty kill tonight. Then, 6 minutes later, the Eagles get their chance on the power play, and they make sure not to squander it. A common sight for the Eagles, Register and Mardo just playing some pitch and catch with some fake shots in between. Finally, Register just unleashes one into the corner, and the Eagles win it in double OT. He has just been absolute cash in the Register so far in this playoff run. The Eagles have 13 wins at this point, and 5 of them are game-winning goals from Register. That's almost 40%. Winning game 1 at home was an absolute monster of a win for the Eagles, especially to win it like that. It's going to be really hard for the Stingrays to bounce back. On top of Register being super clutch, Garbowski picked up 2 goals tonight. Again, the depth scoring from the Eagles just never seems to stop. That is the end of this game review. Thank you for watching. Spoiler alert, Game 2 does not make it to overtime. I'm Rudo3, and I really hope I get to do a victory shave next week.